just got mine. Can you do a video on uploading everything to the USB and to the machine? Let's go ahead and do a video. So I'll be showing you from start to finish how I do a hack. So let's go around the machine. First, I have the 1201 Smartstitch machine. So we're gonna take out the USB stick. And this is where we're gonna upload our design. And excuse the messy work area. I've been doing a lot of hats lately, so it looks a little messy. But machine uses a USB, so it doesn't use USB-C. So I had to buy an adapter for my MacBook. But you just plug in your USB stick. So as a small disclaimer, I do not digitize any of my files. I have a digitizer who I send all the work to, and he takes care of doing all the digitizing stuff for me. When I first got my machine, I thought I would be doing my own digitizing, but I quickly found out how complicated and time-consuming digitizing can be. So I just made the decision to, from then on, hire out the work. A typical digitizer charges anything between $15 to $25 per design. So once you find a good digitizer, just let them know the details of the job. So the size you need, where it's going on, because it does matter if it's going on a hat or a flat embroidery, so on a shirt. So let your digitizer know all the details. If they're good, they'll send you a good enough file. Every now and then with my digitizer, I have like small tweaks to do here and there. But for the most part, he hits it on the first try. So here's our DST file. My digitizer also gives me the EMB, a PDF with like details of the job, and a PNG of what it should look like. So I always create a folder, and you'll see it over here. I just call it forward steer. And I drag the entire folder into the USB stick. So we drag and drop it to our USB stick. And there's our DST file. So when I plug this USB stick into the machine, it'll only recognize the DST file, and you'll see it pull up. All right, so we remove our stick, and we're gonna go back to the machine. And also as a disclaimer, this piece doesn't come with your machine. I got this separate just because I feel like over the years with like pulling it in and out, I don't think it'll get damaged, but just in case, I don't like to like pull those in and out too long. So this helps prevent any damage. Plug it in here. And the machine is gonna recognize the file here. So see, it's reading the stick. So we have this job on here now, but we're gonna upload our new one. So we're gonna go to the little flower icon, and then we're gonna hit our USB stick. And the name of that file was forward steer. So it should be somewhere, let's see. There it is, right here. And see, so I uploaded it on the computer, I uploaded 4 files, but the machine will only read the DST. So this is my file, select it, and then it's gonna assign a number to it. So this is number 43, just hit enter. And then we're gonna go back. So there you'll see your design. So we're gonna select it, hit the little flower. The design is being embroidered, confirm the release of the embroidered design, yes. So we're gonna switch the job up. Over here, you typically won't do anything with this screen unless you wanna rotate it, but we don't wanna rotate it. Because it's for a hat, the machine will automatically rotate it for you, so. All right, so you'll see a black screen here, and then from here, we're gonna make sure that our hat is centered. So before we do this, yeah, we can see it's not centered. Do anything further on the machine, we're gonna grab our hats. We got navy and we got black. So we're gonna start with black here. I'm just gonna get one from the bag. All right, so we got a black hat right here. This is an adult hat. This is a good hat to practice on just because I'm going to show you how to properly hoop a unstructured hat. They're unstructured just because, as you can tell, it's really wobbly. Because it's wobbly, there's some like special things you need to do and make sure that you have checked off. My design is 3.5 inches wide. So I'm gonna cut a piece of stabilizer. And because it's a bulk, like a dad hat, and it has no structure, I'm gonna cut a 6-inch piece, and that's what we're gonna use. So the special thing about this stabilizer is it's really thick. This is 3 ounces. So thicker is better just because it gives your hat structure. And it ensures pretty much that it will not move around while it's being embroidered. So I love the 3-ounce tearaway stabilizer, and I'll link it below so you guys can buy it. But we're gonna cut a 6-inch piece here. And so this is what we'll need, 6 inches. Now I have I'm gonna do this real quick, but I have a whole video on how to hoop a hat properly. Always remember to remove your cardboard from in there. When hooping these dad hats or these unstructured hats, I like to add these clips in the back. These are just like the ones you use for paper. But this ensures that the hat doesn't move in the front whenever it's embroidering. It can create folds in the design if you don't hoop it properly. And I'll show you real quick what happens. So I don't know if you can tell really in this video, or you can tell from here. So right above the W there, so right here, I didn't clip this hat and it moved on me while it was embroidering and it created that fold. So obviously I can't use that hat and I can't sell it. I can't give it to a customer. So this was a throwaway hat. But look out for things like that. So on these unstructured wobbly hats, you should definitely add these. I think I got these at Dollar Tree. Really cheap, but I'll link some in the description as well. All right, I had to stop and contact my digitizer because as you can see in this file, the starting point is right over here. And that's not where it should be. It should always be in the middle. So when I loaded my hat, this is why I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's leaning to the right. So I reached back out and he centered it for me. So I'm gonna upload the new file now. We're gonna have to delete the old file. So because this one's already like technically loaded, let me go back, hit the wrong button. We're gonna have to load a new file so that it can release the old one. All right, so you double tap and then you hit delete memory design. So it got rid of that design. So we're gonna upload the new one now. Here. And then we tap it. It's gonna assign a number to it, number 43, hit enter. All right, and there's our design again. So we're gonna select it, hit start, yes. And if we go here, you can see how it's, all right, so it's kind of hard to tell. Let me see if I can change the thread color. So real quick, to change the thread color, I don't want to use that color. We're going to use white. So just tap in this area right here and it's going to open the screen. And my white is on needle number 2. So I just tap on number 2 and you see the color changes. So if we were using red, we would go with 4, black, 1, but today we're using white, so 2. Okay, you can see here it's not centered. So this should be in the middle, like over here somewhere in this area. So we're gonna hit home and see the machine centered the design, and our hat is now centered. So that's what you want to see. We're gonna probably lower it a little more, just because this machine tends to default higher up. Let me go to needle number 2. All right, and I just want to make sure I'm centered. So my middle seam lines up with my needle here, so we are pretty on the money here. Looks like my thread came out and I didn't put it back in, so let's put this in. Anytime you rethread your needle, like after a needle break, you want to leave some slack. So let's leave that there. All right. Once the machine like cuts the thread, it'll automatically like push it in, so it's not always hanging here. Okay. So we're gonna trace our design just to make sure it's gonna fit in our parameters. I hit the button too soon. So I always like to grab the needle and bring it down. And then over here, this one is your image trace. So we're gonna tap that and see what happens. All right, and we're not hitting anything, so this looks to be right. And next, you're gonna hit the embroidery state. So you're pretty much giving the machine the green light that this is ready. We're gonna go into confirmation state. Save the current design origin, yes. And then once you are ready to embroider, you're gonna see your design up here. So if you remember our previous file, this little center point was on the tip of the longhorn. But in this design, it starts out right in the middle. So that's where you want it to be. And then we just hit start. So we're gonna hit start, and I'm gonna fast forward to this part. So it's done embroidering, and here's our hat. So if you take a closer look at it, those gaps aren't there anymore. And it looks like it stayed pretty stable on the hoop, so pretty clean stitching here. So hopefully I answered some of your questions with this video on how to do a hat from beginning to end. If you do have more questions though on doing hats or on the Smartstitch machine, leave them below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. The machine has been running good for me so far. No major issues that I can think of, so it's definitely been reliable. It's pumped out several hundred hats for me already. I'll link the machine below and all the materials that I used today. All right, I'll probably be posting a few more videos soon, so stay tuned for those and hit the subscribe button.